then invisible hand push for economic well-being. But if government is included, the economic well-being is fairly distributed and country can grow even further. The eighth one is how much time left? I think 20 minutes, right? Okay, now principle 8, which is not related to our microeconomics, but we already studied in the macro one. So I'm just going to go through, normally, or not going to, elaborate this one because you will learn extensively in macroeconomics. Okay, just for your information, if you don't understand here, don't worry about that. You have whole subject name macroeconomics. Okay, so don't worry about this. So the standard of living depends on country's production. The more a country produces, the more it enjoys good standard of living. So there are different ways to measure the standard of living. Number one, by comparing personal income. So in 2003, there's a survey. The personal income of US person is 37,500, Mexico 8,950, and Nigerian 900. So by looking at their disposable income, their personal income, who enjoys the greatest living standard? Of course, those who are getting more money, they are enjoying more standard of living, right? Number two, by ensuring minimum standard of living through minimum wage law. What if the government ensure that in Shanghai, the janitor, which is the lowest, unskilled labor, would be paid 5,000 yuan a month, then their salary rises and they will enjoy more standard of living. The third one is by comparing production, GDP, national domestic product, national production. So that country who produce more will, of course, have more to its people, its standard of living will increase. Number 9, which is how the markets work as a whole, up to number 8, we finish how people interact with one another, and over here up to 7, we interacted how people interact with one another, and now we are talking about how economy as a whole works. We talk about 8, and now the 9th one is price rises when the government prints too much money. So money is just a piece of paper. If you print too much money, people have more papers on their hands, right? For example, the country in 2008 only produces, if I would say that this is 2022. In 28, they are producing 100 tons of steel. And in 2022, they are also producing the same 100 tons of steel. So their production of steel does not change. But what happened? Government prints money, and government prints money. The money changes hands. People receive the money. What happened at this time? People have, for example, 10 billion printed money in the economy. But here we have 100 billion printed economy. Okay, I think I should write it on whiteboard. In 2008, 100 tons of steel money supply was $100 million. You can, or 100 billion. I think it's million. Let's take it million. What is the price of one ton? 100 divided by 100 million. So it means 1 ton. People can buy 1 ton of steel with $1 million. But what happened in 2022? Your production remains the same, 100 tons, but your money supply is now $1,000 million. You printed $900 million more. Money exchanges hands, right? What happened? Now, $0.1 million, 1 ton. Sorry. Yes. So in 1 million, you can only buy 0.1 ton. So look at the impact here. If government prints money, inflation rises. Inflation means rise in the price of goods or services. So prices rises, yes. Previously, $1 million, you can buy 1 ton of steel. And now you print too much money. So $1 million can only give you 0.1 ton of steel, right? So this is inflation. Right? So when governments creates a large quantities of money, the value of the money falls. We just see the example here. So for your curiosity, so this is the biggest note in the history of Yugoslavia. We say 500 billion dinar, 500 billion. What is the market? What is the net worth of Elon Musk? $220+ billion, and this is 500 billion dinar. And you can only buy 1 loaf of bread for this one. 1 loaf of bread only. This happened when you print too much money. Look at what happened to the Zimbabwe. Right? So they have just converted their currency into gold coins. So last week they introduced gold coins. They get rid of their own currency, which is in millions and billions. Right? The last one is society face a short-run trade-off, pay close attention, between inflation and unemployment. So short run. So what happened? This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let me here. So what happened when inflation rises? Rises. When price rises, so those who are producing the goods, producers, they will produce more. Quantity produced will rises. When quantity produced will rises, in order to produce more, you need more people, right? Extra shifts, things like that. So employment rises. But this all phenomena lasts for only short period of time. If I'm a producer, if I look at the market, prices are rising, I will produce more. I will hire more workers. I will run 3 shifts, 24/7, right? To supply the goods because prices are rising, right? I will create more jobs. But if I see that this inflation persists for a longer period of time, then I will stop producing because on the other hand, the raw materials start rising. When raw materials start rising, it is costly for me to produce, right? Plus people are not buying because we need to see the demand as well. If prices rise too much and people cannot afford it, they will not buy it, then ultimately I'm having a loss in long term. So short run trade-off is that first of all, in long run, higher level of prices is the primary effect of increasing the quantity of money, which means printing too much money. Short-term scenario is more complex. The short-term inflation causes increased amount of money, high demand, and more jobs. Right? I just gave you the example. The producer will produce more because prices are rising, more jobs are creating. Those who get employment, they will receive the salary, they will spend more. Right? But this circle only stays for a very short-term period of time, maybe 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. That's it. And after that, when people are realizing the prices are still rising, the input prices or raw material prices start also rising, we cannot afford this, then the producer will lay off the jobs. And what happens? People don't have money to buy those products because they cannot afford these high prices. Then this loop increases. People have unemployment more and high inflation as well. But in short run, inflation increases, causes unemployment to decrease. More employment, but this is opposite, unemployment. Remember this one, unemployment, which means employment. More jobs. In short run, when inflation rises, people have more jobs, but that cannot persist for a longer period of time. So rise in inflation causes price to push and to produce more goods, which causes a decline in unemployment. Simple. Okay, any question? One by one.
No, sir.
Okay, Priscilio.
No.
No.
Oliver.
No.
Marco.
All clear.
Vanessa.
No, sir.
Havaran. Nana.
No, sir.
Nicola.
No, thank you very much for the class.
So I would be uploading these PPTs and the chapter on this WeChat group and also on Blackboard. So you have both platforms to download. But of course, in WeChat, please download as early as possible because after some time it's going to be expired. Okay? And don't call me, sir, please upload again because it's already uploaded on BB, Blackboard. You can always go over there and download. Okay? And if you have still any question, even after reviewing the chapter or the PPT, so you can still ask question by posting your question on the group so that others can also benefit. Okay? So that's all for our today's lecture. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice,
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
a good night.